Tonight, on episode 148 of the Sauce Podcast, who's dancing in the streets naked in Houston, Texas? We go live to Houston for a report. An unsung legacy of Bill Clinton's presidency. Our weekly recommendations, tweet of the week. Today I learned with Paulie Always. And what's a 1961 Blastoff? Find out next on episode 148 of the Sauce Pod. Good evening, Sauce Pod streamers from coast to coast. It's me, Tony Sometimes, and this is episode number 148 of the Sauce Podcast. Coming at you live from inside the FingerLakes1.com studios deep beneath historic downtown Seneca Falls, New York. It's Monday, May 12, 2014, and per usual, I'm joined up here tonight by my saucy compañeros, a Saucy Joe.
Oh, hello, all the fondest wishes of my heart.
And coming at you live from Houston, it's a recurring guest on the Sauce Pod. I think she's been in studio 2 or 3 times, but we've got her live tonight via Skype. In Houston, it's Snowcones.
Hello, hello. Thank you for having me once again. I'm honored.
It's an honor, eh?
It really is.
So, what's the weather like in Houston right now?
It's muggy. Today was really humid, and it's been in the mid to high 80s, but it's been pretty nice. The humidity hasn't been too bad. I've been working outside on my patio for the last couple of weeks.
Well, hang tight here. We are about to begin this episode. Now, anybody who was with us last week, Saucy Joe, or who watched last week's episode, saw that it was a best of the Sauce Pod. And you get a chance to listen to the episode, some of the great clips.
Yep, I did.
Of the past. What was one of your favorites from last week?
From the best of?
Yes, volume 1.
I just like when Rudy P. Ringtone is on.
You know, I gotta tell you, listening to that, it was great to hear Rudy's voice, and he was really a nice fit for the old podcast. And maybe we can Skype him in future episodes. Now, can you imagine your thrill, Snowcones, if you're a clip of this show or one of your past appearances ever appeared on the best of the Sauce Pod?
I'd be pretty excited to learn about something like that.
Well, last week that happened to Axe Nasty, who in episode 5 was give a carp derby report on the fishing hole with Axe Nasty, and he listened to it and it brought back some good memories, and he says he's going to come in this year after the carp derby for the second ever edition of the fishing hole with Axe Nasty, so we have that to look forward to.
Awesome.
But first things first, let's find out what everybody's drinking up here tonight.
Man drink like that and he don't eat, he is going to die.
We serve hard drinks in here for men who want to get drunk fast.
Bet, babe, slide a piece of the porter next time I run the job.
Look at here.
Saucy Joe, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm drinking coffee out of my Hobo Codes mug.
Imagine that. Fresh brewed downstairs.
Fresh brewed coffee out of my Hobo Codes mug.
And Snowcones in Houston, do you have a beverage?
I do.
Of course.
I'm drinking some sparkling wine this evening.
Sparkling wine?
What are you, like 12 years old at Thanksgiving? What's
Can't
happening?
call it champagne. It's not French. It's sparkling wine.
All right.
Where's it from?
I don't know. Somebody left it at my house. But we usually have a bottle of Finger Lakes because we can actually buy Finger Lakes champagne here, Dr. Frank's. So we usually have a couple bottles of that on hand.
It's not French.
Nope, but it's sparkling wine.
You said champagne.
It's made in the champagne style of France.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Thank you for keeping me honest, Jasmine.
Yeah.
I mean,
Saucy Joe.
Yeah.
I'm drinking a large coffee with cream and 1 sugar from the Dunk.
I love Dunkin' Donuts.
They have Dunkin' Donuts down in Houston?
Look at here.
We're getting
Man
them.
drink
They
like
just
that
put one
and
in
he
the
don't
airport.
eat, he is going to die.
So you go to the airport for Dunkin' Donuts?
I don't know. There's a couple others around the city, but it's pretty sweet to have it at the airport, to be honest.
Wow. Well, you live close to the airport?
Yeah, close enough. But I wouldn't go for coffee. I just usually want coffee when I'm traveling.
Good point.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, it was Mother's Day yesterday. Everybody have a good Mother's Day.
It was glorious. Great Mother's Day.
Beautiful weather. Now, Snowcones, you miss your mother on Mother's Day?
I miss my mother every day.
Nice. Good one.
Was it a little harder on Mother's Day?
It is a little harder on Mother's Day. I called her a couple times, and we chatted a couple times, so it is harder on holidays like that. But, you know, my mom's a good egg.
She's a good egg.
She is. She's a good egg about it. She doesn't, you know. And she was just here for a visit last month with my dad, too. So we just got some extra time in recently.
Now, you've always said that you don't want to be a mother.
That's
right?
true.
Now, this is something that's held true over the years, but I'm wondering now, as you've gotten older, does that you still feel that way, or is there something biological going on, or does Mother's Day trigger some type of? I'm just asking.
You know what? No, I didn't feel any extra tugs at my ovaries yesterday any more than any other day of the week. No, I think I love, I like traveling, and I just have a kind of a lifestyle that I've just never really wanted kids. This is such a weird thing to talk about.
No, that's fine. I'm just saying it's on Mother's Day that, we...
No, I never want kids. I love your kids. I feel like I'm kind of a professional aunt. That's how I would describe myself, a professional aunt.
Hey, and I'm not criticizing any of your life choices. I actually am jealous sometimes of the freedom that you enjoy.
Well, there are many wonderful things about having kids, but, we did a lot of other things first, and then by the time it really got to, it's now or never, we just were like, man, this is going pretty good. So we like it.
Nice. Listen, we like you.
Oh, I love you guys, and I love your kids. So, like I said, professional aunt. I'm not that good at it, but, I've gone pro. I have enough nieces and nephews now.
Now, we should mention that Snowcones, spouse of oil man from Texas, wealthy oil man from Texas.
It's true.
Previous guest on this show, and who knows, he may show up tonight as part of the old podcast, or he may show up on a future edition of the Best of the Sauce Pod.
Oh, guarantee it.
So now, in the spirit of Mother's Day, came across this picture on the internet. I'm going to show it to you guys right now. There we go. Boom. Now I'm asked that what you don't understand about this photo here that you're looking at is that there's a grandmother, a mother, and a daughter. That's 3 generations there of the 3 adults. The babies don't count.
Is this a skincare ad?
I don't know. It's from a Japanese blog of some sort.
Okay.
So what I'm tasking you is, can you tell me which one's the grandmother? Let's play which one's the grandmother.
I thought it was the Kardashians when you first put it out.
No, that's not the Kardashians. That's not the Kardashians.
No. I don't know. Do they tell you which one it is? I'm gonna go with the one who's sitting down in the dark shirt.
The black shirt.
Because she's sitting down. She's tired.
Yeah, exactly.
From being so old.
Exactly.
Saucy Joe, do you care to wager?
I don't care. I don't care to wager. I don't.
Okay.
They all look very young.
They do, amazingly, though. Amazingly.
Playing strongly to the stereotype.
The grandmother is right there.
That's a hot granny.
Yeah, I'll say. Can you believe that? 3 generations.
I can.
Now, do you think that this is occurring because of modern medicine and skin care and all that? Do you think that there's going to be less of a divide in the generations?
No.
Like when she's a great grandmother, can they do it again? When one of those little babies in that picture grows up to be a grandmother's age? Or a mother's age?
It depends. The Japanese age well.
It is one of the best things about being Japanese. Now, one of the worst things about being Japanese? Godzilla.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah.
Snowcones, do you use any skincare products to try to stay looking younger? They're looking more Japanese.
Yeah, I also think I have really good genetics, and I think that those women in particular probably enjoy really good genetics. And who knows how much airbrushing went on there also, by the way.
Well, that's a good point.
But yeah, I do. I really like to try new stuff, and
So do you believe that stuff works?
Some of it better than others.
But does any of it really work? Like as advertised?
Yes, I would say using certain products, I've seen a difference, and that I would go back to them again and again. And they're not. I mean, like Cetaphil.
Okay.
I love Cetaphil.
Cetaphil's great.
And it's like $10, and I use it all the time, and I see a difference when I use that versus other stuff because it just works good.
That's good. I'm glad. Speaking of your good genetics and aging, I found a gray hair in my beard today.
No.
The first gray hair. It's still here. I didn't pluck it out.
Wow, where was it?
It's right in the middle of my chin here. It's just buried under some other ones.
That's where it goes first, the chin.
Yeah. I've always had a very dark black beard. But I saw it today when I was in the bathroom.
Now, you could always go ahead and dye the beard. I think that's easier than coloring your hair.
I have no instinct to dye my beard. If it's going to go gray, it'll just go. Just like I have no instinct to shave my beard. I have the same instincts about coloring it. Pretty much any manscaping.
Now you're going grid. It's official.
That's fine.
I'm not.
I'm going to do it gracefully.
You are. You are.
I'm putting the grays and going gray.
I keep waiting to find one. Nothing yet, though.
What, a gray hair in your beard?
Anywhere.
Good luck.
Now, you would definitely color your hair when that day comes, right, Snowcones?
I color my hair now.
Exactly, so it's a lot different for girls.
Absolutely.
Now, I've gone a little salt and pepper over the past decade, and I'm probably just as much salt as pepper right now. Some ladies think that's attractive.
I'm one.
Oh, hey now.
Are you saying
what kind of show is
Are you
this?
saying you're attracted to me, Snowcones? Is the rich oil man from Texas home yet?
Absolutely.
Do you want
I'm
me?
married. I'm not dead.
Oh, nice.
Well,
no, it suits you.
Tony,
It's good.
sometimes his hair is wild right now.
it is. I can't seem to get a haircut.
Unbelievable.
I mean, I could take this hat off and show you guys.
You wouldn't even believe this thing.
Wow.
Look at this.
I'm like some kind of caveman. I'm like Captain Caveman.
That is unbelievable.
You're like Doc
I've never
Brown.
seen it. I've never seen it like that.
I could almost tie it up in a ponytail.
Man,
Please do.
that'd be something. Like days of yore.
Yeah, I didn't mind it, but now it's getting warmer out, and having all that hair when it's hot is just. I think I might go extreme. I think I might cut it. Not a buzz cut, but.
You might go extreme like Nuno Betancourt.
So, getting back to that Japanese grandmother photo.
Okay.
Yes, please.
The one on the right is Kazuko Inui. She's the grandmother. She is known as Bimahaho, which means beautiful witch in Japanese. This term refers to a woman over 35 years of age who is amazingly stunning. Inui is now 42 years old, which is pretty young for a grandmother. So it's not like she's, like I'm 42.
Yeah.
But she was recently crowned in the Kansai Bimaho beauty pageant. And she married at the young age of 19 and had her first daughter the same year. So there's your awesome Japanese fact of the week.
Yeah.
Speaking of other weekly things that we do here on the Sauce Pod, it's time for our tweets of the week.
Okay.
This week's tweet of the week comes from @Crimmins, whose tweets, "You want to see Americans become activists? Cancel a TV show they like."
Good point.
And they'll get very active. They'll get online. They'll get on message boards. They will sign petitions. They'll sign petitions when a TV show is
Bring back
canceled.
Firefly. They'll say. The brown coats will scream.
I have to admit, some of the cancellations hurt this week.
Like which ones in particular?
I've never written a letter about a show, though.
But which
Until
ones are
this
you
week?
upset about?
I love Trophy Wife. It's such a cute little weird sitcom.
It's gone. It's canceled.
Yeah, Marcia Gay Harden's really hilarious, and the kids in it are really funny. It's a really funny, and I love Bradley Whitford, so I was bummed about that. And that mixology show, which I admit is dumb, but it was funny dumb.
I'm glad that one got canceled. I hated that show from the minute I saw the first promo for it.
Josh and I heard the Oil Man and I loved that.
Wow.
I know, it's so lame, but we've been more obviously.
I think my wife likes that show,
It's terrible, but
which tells me almost everything I need to know about it.
The redheaded guy is he's funny. Sorry.
Yeah, listen, redheaded guys are funny.
It's got ginger cred.
Let's face it.
I don't know. Read me some more tweets.
Okay, I do have a couple more tweets here. Like this one's from Andy Richter, who tweets, "An unsung legacy of Bill Clinton's presidency is that since he left office, no sitting president has shot a load on a non-spouse that we know of."
Yeah.
But, yeah, think of it. Can you think of anything less presidential?
I think it's very presidential.
He's talking about Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah.
Remember that?
She just released a tell-all book.
So Andy Richter must be plugging it for her on Twitter.
Well, I was going to make a plug-in-it joke, but
I
I'm not
was
going to.
waiting for you to.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I've changed my ways.
Snowcones. Top
Yeah.
5 presidents of your lifetime in order, worst to first, starting now.
Worst to first of my lifetime.
I think there's only been 5 in your lifetime.
No. How old do you think I am?
Ooh, 36?
I'm not going to list worst to first. I'll just tell you my favorite, which is Bill Clinton, because he is the sexiest man alive, period.
Boom. See that?
That's all I need in a president. I'll admit it. Don't care.
Healthcare? Or you don't care?
I have health care.
What about Obama's sexiness factor?
I don't know, like a man with a little meat on his bones.
To me, the sexiest president in that span was Ronald Reagan.
Oh, no.
Dutch, they called him.
They did call him that.
Saucy Joe, top 3 presidents
This is
of
the
your
weirdest
lifetime.
sauce pod of all time right now.
It's because there's just me and you, and then we're piping in Snowcones from Houston.
And we're talking about sexy presidents.
No, I'm not saying sexy. I'm saying top 3 presidents in your estimation in your lifetime.
I was a Bill Clinton fan. I'm a product of my youth, though.
As was I, which is why I'm a big Ronald Reagan guy. America was great back then, boy. You were sure proud to be American. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall.
Tear down that wall. Yeah, I'd have to go with Clinton as number 1 as well. Number 2, number 3, I don't know. There haven't been that many presidents in my lifetime.
There've been the Bushes.
The Bushes, which I don't really care for either of.
No, I can't speak to Jimmy Carter as a president, but I have to say I recently heard an interview with him on, I think it was Dan Ream, or it was something on PR, and it was really a wonderful interview.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Let's get him back on the ballot for the
His
Democrats.
faith is what he mostly spoke about, and it was really, really one of the best interviews I've heard in a long time.
We talked about his feet.
What?
What did you say? Faith?
No, his faith. His faith.
His face? Oh, his faith.
Faith.
Got it. George Michael song?
I love that song.
The year was 1980. I'm driving in, I think it was a red Datsun with my mother. I was in the passenger seat. She was in the driver's seat. And it was an election year. Matter of fact, it must have been November, October.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in 3rd grade, and I was aware of the election. I even made a fake election booth in my house on election night. It made my mom and dad come and vote.
That election booth was real to you.
You know, so the I think Carter won the election in our house.
Oh yeah,
all electorals reporting. But I said to my mother, and I think my sister, who was probably 3 at the time, was the deciding vote. So I look. I asked my mom, "Who are you voting for?" And it was Reagan, Carter, or Anderson was the third party candidate.
Louis Anderson.
Yeah, and she said Carter, and I said, "Oh." I said, "Why?" And she said, "I think he just needs a few more years to accomplish what he set out to do."
All right.
And I remember that
Fair enough.
for some reason. I asked my dad,
I know where this is going.
and he was voting for Reagan.
Oh, boy.
So we had a split house, and boy, sometimes it turned violent. Around election time.
I can see that. It can get tense.
I should take a poll of my parents of the last since like 1960 or whenever they became a voting age, and of who they voted for everyone, and compare them. I wonder if they were ever the same. I bet you they both voted for Kennedy.
I don't think my wife and I have ever voted differently since we've been at voting age, but that's only been, what, 2 elections?
So you discuss it, and you tell her who she's voting for?
Yeah, I tell her who to vote for. She goes out and does it.
You know, that's the problem with giving the women the vote. You're really just giving the wealthy landowning male 2 votes, right? Don't you agree, Snowcones?
Yeah, that's how it works over here.
So,
It's good to be a man.
Yeah. Hey, actually, speaking of that, could I stir the tomatoes and the onions for my man who's coming home? Can you
What does that
excuse
even
me for a
mean?
second so the tomatoes
Is
don't
that a
burn?
euphemism?
Yeah, you go stir the sauce.
That's what I'm stirring, the sauce.
We'll talk amongst ourselves. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. They won't care. They'll tell me.
Oh, I don't see why they wouldn't.
I wonder if they'll remember.
Sure. You remember who you voted for.
Yeah. You know, I'll tell you who I voted for.
Okay.
It was too young to vote in 80. And again in 84. And then I think my first election.
But you would have voted for the Gipper.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
Okay. Just making sure.
But then you go ahead, and I never voted for Clinton. And I voted for Ross Perot in one of those elections, though.
Good vote.
If you can believe that.
Good vote.
I can.
That was when I was in college. I like Ross Perot. He was just a little too crazy.
Yeah.
I like crazy.
You know, and to be
It's
honest,
passionate. I like passion.
I voted for Obama the first time around.
That surprises me.
Well, you know,
Actually surprises me too.
it was a
Well,
it
maybe
was a major milestone for the American nation to elect a man of color to the highest office, and pretty much other than that, I think every single time I voted third party candidate. Nader a few times, just to voice my displeasure with the 2-party system. Do you remember your voting history, Snowcones? Are you willing to share it with the internet?
I do. I have to say my most memorable voting experience was voting for the president in Alaska because, number one, he won our district of Fairbanks by like 3 votes. So we were pretty sure that we were 2 of those 3 votes that put him over the edge. And also because we knew so early, and I'd never had to not stay up late before.
Oh.
And so, like, I knew by, like, dinner time who the president was. And I could go to bed instead of staying up all night like I usually do.
Wow.
Looking out your window at a beautiful view of Russia. Amazing.
I could see it from my home.
Amazing.
Now, are you excited to get maybe Sarah Palin back involved?
She's always entertaining. But I don't really see how anybody can take her seriously as anything other than entertainment.
Saucy Joe, you remember your voting history since you turned 18?
I do.
You want to share it with us?
Not at all.
It's something you want to keep private?
Yeah. I will say that I'm pretty liberal. Pretty liberal.
Got one more tweet of the week here. Our tweet. It's from @J Elvis Weinstein, who says Radio Shack has stayed in business with a name combining something no one buys anymore and a type of building no one wants to go into. Think about it. Radio Shack. And that's the tweets of the week. Now, Polly always should have a little something for us, Saucy Joe.
Hit it up the segment.
Waiting in there for us. And
Let's hear.
this is the segment where Paulie always fills us in on some fact that we probably didn't know about before he told us. So it's called Today I Learned with Paulie Always.
Today I learned with Paulie Always.
That guy just learned something.
I want to get my head like the same spot, so when you fade it off, it fades into me
With a big smile.
like the Michael Jackson
Michael
video.
Jackson video.
Exactly. Same wavelength, you and I. Okay. Today I learned. Hello. That's literally what he wrote here. Hello, my Sauce Pod friends. I'm very sorry I've been absent from the podcast over the past few weeks. I have been real fucking busy.
Damn.
That's what it says. I'm just reading it.
You never know what you're going to get.
It's Paulie Always' world. I'm just living in it. Today I learned that children who are the youngest in the class are more likely than their older classmates to be diagnosed and given medication for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, parentheses, ADHD, suggesting that immaturity may be part of the problem, not ADHD. The finding is from a study of more than 900,000 Canadian children aged 6 to 12, and it dovetails with 2 U.S. studies that found the same thing in 2010.
Dovetail meaning matches up nicely.
According to the study conducted by Dr. E. Jane Garland, a child and adolescent psychiatrist at the University of British Columbia, the youngest boys were 30% more likely than their oldest classmates to get an ADHD diagnosis, and the youngest girls had a 70% greater chance.
Wow.
With great appreciation for your patience with me over the past few weeks, I am Paulie Always. P.S. Fuck Roger.
Well, guess what Paulie always is telling us there, that if you if your child's born in that gray area where they can go a year or wait a year, the ones that go a year have a higher chance of being ADHD.
The ones that are pushed.
Right.
Yeah.
My daughter was in that situation. We held her back. I just thought that she'd be a little more mature.
70% chance greater that she would have been diagnosed.
Right. So I made the right call.
Luckily,
in terms of that.
Luckily, she's not Canadian.
That's true, but it does dovetail with the American study. What are your thoughts, Snowcones, on this?
Oh, I would agree that I was a little older for my class, and I think it was a good idea.
You didn't have ADHD.
No.
Is that what it is? ADHD?
Yeah, attention
I guess.
deficit
I mean,
hyperactivity
I
disorder.
was probably like hyper and chatty, but nobody ever tried to give me a pill for it.
Well, you were in the safe group.
They may have suggested that you take a chill pill.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Right. That's like over the counter.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, that is an interesting fact, Paulie, and I didn't know that, but it reaffirms the fact that I think I'm a good parent, make good decisions on behalf of my daughter.
That's a pretty good cross section. 900,000 children. That's like, they're not doing 100 kids at one little school. 900,000 kids is a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. So I would say that you have to.
I like my studies to have at least 750,000
of anything
participants. Yeah, Canadian or otherwise.
Now, what are some of the arguments for letting your child go ahead early?
I don't know if there are any.
I don't either. Challenge them more.
Get them out of the house.
Yeah, that's true. Get them off to college a little sooner. Some people probably make that decision based on if you have multiple kids and how that will line up with when it comes time to pay for college.
Yeah, that stands to reason. Like if you want to stagger them a certain way, if there's a kid that they're friends with and they want to be in the same class together. Too. Now we're getting into it.
That's true.
First cursory glance, we said there are no benefits, but now we're starting to discover them.
There are, and they lie within
the layers of an onion.
Individual situation, I suppose. But I was old for my class. I was a February baby, and I wasn't the oldest, but I was older than most. And the way that when that really comes into play is when you get your driver's license. If you're one of the first, boy, you become very popular.
Sure.
Yeah.
So thanks, Paulie. We'll see what you have in store for us next time.
Maybe.
Today I learned with Paulie Always.
What if I were to tell you guys that goats could climb trees?
I know that to be a fact.
Did you know this, Snowcones?
No, I don't know much about.
You've never
goats.
seen pictures of goats in trees?
It's amazing. I never saw that until
Goats can
today.
climb anything.
Found in the small village of Tamri in Morocco, these goats climb argan trees in search of food. Argan berries are about the best food a Tamri goat could imagine. And to reach the fruit requires them to be adept in an extraordinary balancing act that's quite unexpected from a hooved animal. So let me pull you up a picture of some of these goats in the trees. There they are.
It's so awesome.
It's so weird. It's like somebody put them up there as a joke.
Look at that one way up there. What's he doing? What are you doing, goat?
It doesn't even seem like that. Those branches can hold the goat.
Now, goats, I don't know why people are surprised about that. Goats are notoriously good at climbing. Everybody knows that. That's what mountain goats do.
No, that's
They're
true.
nimble.
Yeah.
Nimble-footed.
They're fleet-footed, and they can. They have a tiny footprint.
There's some more goats in the tree.
On with this.
It's funny. I mean, that's what I just think it's kind of ridiculous. But
I had to follow a goat trail when hiking once in the mountains, and I have to say they're very narrow and small, and you wonder how like an animal that size with 4 hooves walk along such a narrow path. They are very nimble and what'd you say? Sure-footed.
sure-footed on their hooves.
Yeah.
Certainly sure-footed. So
I like a goat. Goats
I
are
wanna
funny.
see a goat in a tree now.
Boy, any of you Game of Thrones fans saw a goat get cooked
Yeah.
this week.
Mm.
But I won't go there. Now, do you guys watch Game of Thrones?
Yep.
No.
You and Oil Man don't watch Game of Thrones? I would have been.
The last time we were home, he seemed convinced by your arguments in particular to start watching it. We just haven't got around to it yet.
Oh, man. Now, that makes me jealous, because they could watch it from the beginning and just be like, wow, like binge watch, right?
They could binge watch it.
Yeah, and that's what we like to do, so we probably will pick it up. I don't know.
I'm surprised that Zach Supernova never pestered you to read the books.
Constantly, are you kidding?
Oh, I figured he might, yeah.
Of course, but there's no way I'm going to read them in time to watch the show too now, so I might as well just dig in. You know what I did watch before I read the book that I kind of regret? That was The Book Thief recently.
The Book Thief. I saw that book posted somewhere recently with a recommendation.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Would you recommend that book?
I haven't read the book yet.
Oh, you haven't read it?
First. I hate doing that, and I did it, and even though the movie was good, I regret it now.
Life's full of regrets.
I know.
So there you have it, goats and trees.
Oats and trees.
You can email us at info@thesaucepod.com. We'll read it on there. You can find us online at thesaucepod.com. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter at thesaucepod. Stitcher. You can subscribe to us on Stitcher on your smartphone. Podcasts on the go. And we're on iTunes. If you like us, rate us and review us. If you don't like us, don't rate us or review us. We're on YouTube. Search for fingerlegs1.com. Subscribe to that channel, and our RSS feed is on our website. Watch or listen on your computer, tablet, phone, or television. Hey, got some news from your neck of the woods, Snowcones. Hang tight. It's a Saucepod News Report. Dateline, Houston, Texas. Naked man on embalming fluid dances in Houston streets.
Dang.
Witnesses on a busy Houston street say a man high on embalming fluid stripped naked and started screaming surfboard and doing the Beyonce while dancing, KHOU reports. You ever listen to KHOU on your...
KHOU is our local CBS affiliate, I think. So, yeah.
Wow. Onlookers, including small children, can be seen in a video taken Thursday at 12:30 p.m. trying to subdue and cover up the man. One woman, who claims she's the unidentified man's cousin, was horrified. "That's embarrassing. He's in the middle of the street," she says. "Something is going on with him, evidently, because he never did that before." She said the man be all night. Getting high on embalming fluid.
He'd be all night getting high on embalming fluid. Got it.
According to the New York Daily News. It looks like your local news rags are being scooped by our news rags up here in New York.
I guess so. Yeah, I sort of vaguely recall this maybe passing through my news feed, but I didn't see anything about it. But, that's another day in Houston.
So this wasn't Oil Man from Texas or any other acquaintance of yours?
No. He has not done anything negative in front of strangers since we lived in Fairbanks.
He does get high on embalming fluid, though. Where do you guys get your embalming fluid down there?
I've got a connection.
Police later took the man to a hospital to undergo a mental health evaluation. It's unclear whether he will face charges, so keep an eye on that one on KHOU. Dateline, Fontana, California. No charges for California student on school PA.
Dang.
Police say a student who shouted, "Get out!" over the public address system at a Southern California school was just worried a teacher was coming and not trying to make others think they were in danger. Fontana police said Thursday that no students at Heritage Intermediate School will face charges over the May 2nd incident. Police say a student had learned how to access the school's PA system and turned it on. But when a friend saw a teacher was coming, he yelled, "Get out, get out." That sparked fear among students. Some called their parents on cell phones with worries there was a shooter on campus. Police say they identified and questioned the student, and he didn't intend to cause such a response. So there you have it. That's akin to yelling fire in a crowded movie theater.
Mm-hmm. Get out. Get out.
Get out. Oh, I
guys,
hear...
What? You hear what?
The front door. I think an oil man has returned.
Does he know you're on the sauce pod tonight?
Yes, I let him know before he left.
Where did he go, on a embalming fluid run?
No, yeah, softball night.
Softball?
Oh, he's in a softball league down there?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. I bet he's in like 8 different activities down there.
Oh, he's all over the place. He's always having fun. Dodgeball tournament coming up.
Yeah, of course.
That's bizarre.
Now, when I was in school, if someone, a student yelled, get out," over the PA system, I wouldn't have thought there was a shooter.
No.
But times have changed.
We would have all looked at each other.
Like, what's going
puzzled.
on? Yeah, and you probably just sat there. No one would have gotten out.
No one would have gotten out, no. You guys know Casey Kasem is missing?
What?
He's missing.
Well, it's probably a case of he was getting up there in age and got lost himself. Or you think he was kidnapped?
No, was moved to a home, and no one will say which one.
So someone knows where he is.
Somebody knows where he is.
Like his family.
Like his most recent wife.
Isn't the wife hiding him from the kids?
Yeah. His current wife is hiding him from his other lady wife's children, his biological children, not her biological children.
Well, why though?
I don't really care. I just know that he's missing.
I'm sure it has to do with money. Don't you imagine?
Probably.
Casey Kasem, the voice of a generation.
Yeah.
Long distance dedications. How many long distance dedications did that guy send over the airwaves?
So many. Warmed a lot of hearts.
Yeah.
Is there there's no place in America now for a top 40 radio show like that. America's Top 40.
Ryan Seacrest is rocking that to this day.
Really?
Sure.
It doesn't seem to matter anymore. Back when I was younger, it really mattered. Like,
it doesn't
people
matter
would
to
say,
you, but it matters to younger kids.
Does it?
I imagine it does, yeah. What do I know? I have gray beard hair.
I just remember, every week tuning in, sometimes recording portions of it.
Yeah.
I always recorded that.
I don't know how the kids do it now.
Is Oil Man from Texas available for one question?
Yeah, probably. He may be watering the lawn, but I can yell out the back door.
Well, no rush. I thought he was kid come home.
He's home, but he headed straight out the back door with the dog, probably to water his crops. He's also a farmer.
What you guys got growing? What's good in the Houston soil to grow?
Yeah, actually, it's really nice. We're kind of a mild spring, so a lot of stuff is doing well. We've got tomatoes, we've got peppers. All the herbs are doing really well.
I bet.
Our zucchini plants are going crazy, and we're even going to try to grow edamame. We'll see.
Oh,
wow.
That'll keep you looking young.
Is there any way to grow edamame up here?
It's a vine. It's a growing vine. So I imagine if you plant it early enough in the spring. They have a question for you when you have a moment.
I don't lump me in here.
But I would imagine you could probably grow it if it grows like peas. I remember my neighbors growing peas when I was a kid. So
can he scooch right in there next to you? You don't have to get up. I mean, just share the frame.
Yeah, here we'll share the frame.
We'll share the frame.
Hey,
there he is.
How's it going?
Well,
Hi.
the Oil Man from Texas. How have you been?
What's up?
Look at that. Get a room.
Well, one question, and this was a question that was hotly debated on last week's Best of the Sauce Pod Volume 1. When you go to the bathroom, number 2, do you, when you wipe, do you stand or sit when you wipe yourself?
I sit.
Yeah, of course you do.
I'm lazy. I just lean over a little bit.
Exactly. That's not lazy. That's efficient.
But did you
That's probably true. A little lazy too, though. I gotta say.
Don't paint me with that brush.
Were you aware that some people stood though?
Standing up's kind of weird, to be honest with you. How do you? I mean,
Because your cheeks close, right?
Yeah, you're
Makes no
clenching
sense.
everything up when you stand up. What
Makes
are you
no
doing?
sense.
I don't. Not like you're clenching your cheeks when you're standing.
Yeah, but you know,
I don't see that as an argument against it. The argument against it is you look ridiculous, but you're in there all by yourself.
He doesn't see that as an argument against it because he refuses to see that as an argument against
'Cause
it.
it
Even though it's the greatest and only real argument against it.
It doesn't happen though. Like I don't. This is the crunching up that you guys are talking about. It doesn't. It doesn't happen in reality.
Yes, it does. If you are sitting down, you can see, so if someone was underneath you and you were sitting down, they could see your asshole. If you're standing up, no one can see your asshole.
Well, when you stand,
that's my point.
When you stand, or at least when I do, I don't ever return to a fully erect position. I stay bent over at the waist.
That's even weirder.
Well, it is a strange thing. I'm telling you, if somebody walked in on you, they'd be like, "What the heck's going on in here?" Unless they were like, "Oh yeah, I stand too." But that's how it's done. I don't stand at attention. But how about you, Snowcones? How do you do it, or do you not want to share? That's not something a lady should.
I stay seated.
Yeah, it's. Thank you. So bizarre. People are weird.
It's a 50-50 split worldwide. Apparently,
The rumor is that it's 50-50 split, and one does not know about the other camp. Like they wouldn't even.
I've never heard about a stand.
Exactly, this is the point. But now you've met one, and you've known him your whole life. You've known this stander.
Every time.
Look at him.
Every
you look at him the same way. Look at him.
I think it's a 90-10. I don't think it's 50.
No, because listen.
No way it's 50-50.
We've talked to a lot of people, and it's pretty. It was 50-50 here.
Yeah, when we
Would you
did
go to
that.
the bar and ask?
Well, yeah, I've asked a lot of people since then, and it is about 50-50, and the other half really doesn't know.
You start asking around there. I mean, everything's bigger in Texas, so we'll see.
Any of the standers women?
Yeah, it was 50-50 here, right?
Yeah, but that was before the days of Mysterious Taco Girl, Rudy P. Ringtone.
Yeah, but didn't we talk about? Oh no, we didn't talk about it with her.
I don't think she would have been interested in talking about that.
How could you not be?
But it is something that everyone in the world does. It's one thing that we all share
Everybody
in common
poops.
with every human
It's true.
being, And in many cases, animals, but animals don't wipe themselves.
They just lick it.
Yeah.
Well, some of them don't even need to. Like dogs, that's a clean exit.
It's an efficient system.
It's like a landing dock on like the Death Star. The dog's anus.
Are you saying that it puckers out a little bit and then
just closes?
And then it goes back in?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of like that. You're right. The Death Star.
New Star Wars movie coming out, actually. Pretty excited about it. Actually, I'm not really excited about it, but I'll watch it for sure.
So that was the big question you had to get the oil man in for?
Yeah, I was just wondering, off the heels of the Best of the Sauce Pod last week.
Yeah.
So,
good.
We stirred the tomatoes?
Well, it was good to see you guys.
Likewise.
Yeah, well, look forward to the day when you both are back in studio and keep on drilling.
Drill, baby, drill.
Drill, baby, drill. Listen, he cackles as he walks away. That guy's the greatest.
He is top 5.
He's the greatest.
In just about anything.
Oh, come on. Hey, keep it down in there.
Dateline Singapore.
Ooh.
Python in toilet reportedly bites woman.
Dang.
A woman in Singapore was in for a nasty surprise after she sat down to use the bathroom earlier this month and was reportedly bitten by a python that was in the toilet. According to Asia One, 34-year-old Nora Slinda Asat felt a sharp pain shortly after sitting down in the toilet. In the master bedroom of her home, when she stood up, she realized the pain was caused by a bite from a long snake that had its fangs clamped to her right thigh.
No, David.
The woman was taken to a local hospital and treated for snake bite, but was discharged shortly after. Assat managed to grab the snake once it had bitten her. However, animal control was not able to recover the reptile. The snake has been described as a brown python that measures at least 6 feet, so be on the lookout, Singapore. That thing is in the sewer system, and he's going to strike some other unwitting. He may have made his way all the way to Houston through the sewer pipes.
Oh, don't even.
Isn't that, some people have that, is that a phobia of some kind, Saucy Joe? Fear of something coming up from the toilet?
I believe it is.
Well, for all those times that someone told that person with that phobia that there's nothing to worry about.
I don't think it's that uncommon.
No, I don't have a phobia, but I've thought about that before. It's crossed my mind.
I just mean the occurrence of creatures coming up through toilets. I don't think it's that uncommon.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, really?
No, I think it happens more often than you obviously think.
Yikes, yeah.
Yikes.
Well, I've never seen it happen or heard it happen around here.
Wow.
There's not as many snakes in New York with that kind of snakes, and that's the kind of thing that goes through. I bet you in Florida it happens all the time.
Ugh.
And I have to imagine that our plumbing is maybe a step above in most areas than in Singapore, but I could be wrong.
No, I bet you our plumbing's better in Singapore.
Well, this is America, after all. If we don't have better plumbing, what else can we be proud of?
How are the Department of Works in Houston? Is your infrastructure solid?
Yeah, I would say absolutely. I mean, from a plumbing standpoint, everything's been fine.
Ship shape?
Yeah, the traffic leaves a lot to be desired.
What about armadillos? You see a lot of them?
I've seen like kind of dead ones on the highway, but I don't think I've ever seen a live one strolling on the street. We saw a dead feral pig the other day on our way to the state park.
You did? Banner day.
I know.
What's a Houston State Park like? Or
This
Texas?
This one just outside of Houston is Sam Houston State Park, and it was really beautiful. I mean, obviously, we just sort of went to one trailhead, did a couple miles, and that was it. But it was a forest. It was a legit forest. It was leafy. It was nice.
Wow. What's your favorite? What's your favorite piece of Houston history that intrigues you the most?
I am currently living in Patrick Swayze's old neighborhood. That's right.
Wow.
Wow. I thought it might be something else, but wow, Patrick, he died.
I know.
It's true. It's true.
I have a sad. No, I'm sure there are other interesting things about Houston, but
Probably.
that's my favorite.
What's the Texas official state snack?
Oh,
I'm just curious.
Probably fried.
Up here, it's yogurt.
Yeah, they're trying to get it pushed to make yogurt the official state snack. Did you happen to see that?
No.
Oh, I suggest you get on Google immediately and check that out.
Yeah, well, look for Jon Stewart's take on it on the Daily Show.
It's unbelievable. Just watch it.
It's for a little taste of home.
A real backlog of dailies and Colbert.
Well, this one is New York related, and it'll make you long for home.
I always long for home, but John has a way of putting a sharp point on it.
Well, that's all the news that I got this week.
That's all the news? We're not even going to talk about sports ball player Michael Sam?
That's all the news.
You got a stew going.
You want to talk about Michael Sam? Now, here's a openly gay football player, college football player, who was drafted in the NFL to the St. Louis Rams.
To the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Saucy Joe pointed out today while we were having lunch that there probably isn't another team in the league that you could get drafted to that could set him up for more gay jokes
yeah, that's true.
than the Rams.
The Browns?
Oh, nice one. Nice one. That's why you're on the show.
I'm just saying.
What about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Oh, yeah. A Buccaneers pirate.
It's true.
Yeah, there's a lot
of jokes inherent in there, unfortunately. Well, here's my. This is what I tweeted. We watched him get drafted, and then I was alone in the living room, and they showed him and his boyfriend, and I was like, this is the most interesting thing that's ever happened on ESPN. I find ESPN incredibly boring, and sports in general, and that was
till two guys start making out.
It was mind-blowing. It wasn't mind-blowing because, to me, it was mind-blowing because I was like, I'm watching ESPN along with like more than a million other males right now, and some of them are like, wow. And I think that was amusing to me.
What I thought about that was that if you what they did when they then went back to the panel to talk about the pick and everything, nobody even discussed he was gay. They gave his 40-yard dash.
Why wouldn't they?
But the best part about that was not only did they not address that, which is fine, you don't have to, and I think it probably would have been weird if they had been like, oh my god, two dudes just kissed. But what they did say, and I'm not kidding, and the irony was just too good, and that's why I remember it. He said, well, there's a scene we've seen over and over and again, tears of happiness,
right.
Lots of joy. And I'm thinking to myself, well, yeah, but no, we haven't seen that scene over and over again on ESPN.
ESPN's come a long way.
He may have prepared that statement, actually. He may have assumed that there would have been some. Well, who knows? But either way, they didn't. They probably made a conscious effort to, at that point, not talk about him in any other way than a football player.
And that's all they've talked about since, so I found it very interesting. But no, I was excited. I thought it was really cool.
Well, coming up at 9:01 Eastern Standard Time here on the East Coast. What time you got there in Houston?
We're coming up on 8 o'clock.
Wow,
we're
so
only
about
an hour behind you.
Hour difference, okay. Now's a part of the show where we give our weekly recommendations. I probably didn't warn you, but as a Sauce Pie listener, I'm sure you have a recommendation ready to go for us. Our weekly recommendations where we recommend one thing to you, the listener, that will enhance your life in some way if you so choose to take the recommendation. It's our weekly recommendations.
I love when that car goes by, the space car. My favorite part of the show.
What makes that noise? What did the creators of the Jetsons think would make that why it would make that noise?
I don't know. I love it.
Future sound.
Some sort of air displacement. I don't get it, but I love the sound.
Someday we'll understand.
It makes me feel good.
What do you recommend to our listeners this week?
I'm woefully unprepared. Let me think here.
Do you have something prepared? Snowcones?
I don't have something prepared. I have two things.
All right,
Oh,
great.
Gee whiz.
All right.
Make me look like an idiot.
I will recommend a book. It's called A Walk in the Woods by Bill Bryson. It's one of my favorite books I've
Bill
ever
Bryson's
read.
great, isn't he?
And it will launch you on a journey of reading everything else Bill Bryson's ever bought.
Which is a wide array of things, because he just picks a topic and then researches it and then writes a book about it.
Yeah. The oil man from Texas bought the entire library.
Oh
recently,
wow,
so
what a great
we
thing!
have everything.
Some people don't like him for that. Some people say that that's not a cool thing to do.
No, well, look, A Walk in the Woods is probably one of my all-time favorites, even though he says something about moose at the end that I really object to, and I wrote him a whole email that I replied to about it. But anyway, it's a great book. The second thing I'm going to recommend is Rescuing Animals. We got a top recently, and we got a rescue organization, and there's a lot of animals that need homes. So if you get a pet, you should, because lots of animals need good homes.
Wow.
We'll see you next time on The Price is Right.
That was spay and neuter.
What'd you get now? You got a dog? Got a new dog? What's the name?
Katie, like Elizabeth Katie Stanton, Cady.
Wow, a taste of Seneca Falls down in Houston in the form of a dog. Can we see the dog?
Dogs.
Sure. Hey, Josh, can you pick up and stick her in front of the camera?
What dogs are like
She's
Elizabeth
under.
Katie
She's
Stanton?
London. I
Blazing
can't
Trails.
believe you didn't know.
I knew.
I've posted some things about it on Facebook.
Look at
Oh yeah, now I remember this little beauty. How you doing, puppy? Wow, that's a great
That's
picture.
Katie.
keep fighting the good fight.
Because she's tough, just like Elizabeth Katie Stanton.
Does the dog get real excited when Josh comes home?
Yeah.
You know what you should do? You should dress him up in military fatigues and then make a video where you pretend that he's been in Afghanistan.
No,
And then he came home.
Yep.
those make me cry even more than the ones where the kids get reunited with the parents. The ones where the pets get reunited with the serviceman or woman, I bawl at every single
Make
one.
a fake one.
No!
Do it.
It's so disrespectful.
Is it?
Yes!
Think of all the people you would make happy.
Yeah.
I think it's, what do they call it? Stolen valor.
If you do it right, no one will know. That's not disrespectful.
Right.
You're just making people happy. What
Like-
they don't know won't hurt them.
You're like the Pharrell Williams of Houston. You'll become.
Oh, super. I need a new hat.
I'm gonna make a recommendation. now.
Okay, Saucy Joe.
That's a music recommendation because that's how lame it is this week for me. But there is a record that came out last year that I just discovered a couple weeks ago by a guy that goes by, he's Canadian. He goes by Rye, R-H-Y-E.
R-H-Y-E.
And it's called Woman. And Snowcones, this is specifically for you. You should immediately go put this record on. It's called Woman by Rye, R-H-Y-E. It's unbelievable. You won't. Number one, you won't believe it's a man. And number two, it's just it's otherworldly good.
What's the genre?
I don't know what it is.
It's weird.
It's not weird. It's not weird. It's really good. It's really good.
I believe you.
I'm in love with it.
I will not go to bed without downloading it.
I'm in love with it.
I recommend 1961 vodka. Is distilled in King Ferry, New York. But specifically, I want to recommend a drink that you could make with it, or probably any other vodka. But to make it the way I'm going to tell you how to make it, you need to use 1961 vodka. It's called the 1961 Blastoff. This recipe is available on their website at 1961vodka.com. One of the founders was in the FingerLakes1.com studio last week on the FLX Made podcast and talked all about how they formed their company and distilled their product in King Ferry using Finger Lakes wheat. But to make the 1961 Blastoff, which they made on the show, you're going to need 2 ounces of 1961 vodka, 3/4 ounces of fresh lime juice, a half ounce of agave syrup, 2 strips of jalapeno, seeds removed, that's fresh jalapeno, 2 slices of fresh ginger, Muddle the jalapeno and ginger in a shaker with a touch of 1961 vodka. Add ice and remaining ingredients. Shake to chill. Pour in rocks glass over ice. Garnish with jalapeno and lime.
Blast off.
Does this sound good?
Fabulous.
It does.
I tell you, I never heard of like a jalapeno in a drink, in like a alcoholic drink, and it gave it a nice. And I don't like vodka. I got sick on it a long time ago.
I made jalapeno vodka last year.
It's delicious.
You made jalapeno like a batch?
I did. I did.
This is the first I've heard of it.
Josh, or the oil man, occasionally makes a habanero tincture with habanero and vodka. And then you just add like a little bit to drink stance and eat.
You can add it to everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, they're really good. I like those.
Yes, ma'am.
You can actually get some 1961 vodka at Padula's in Seneca Falls.
Oh, I will.
I'm going to get some next when I run out of the 2 bottles of vodka that I have now. But my problem with it is the grain vodka, and I don't particularly care for that.
It's a grain vodka made from Finger Lakes wheat, which makes it unique. It's a soft wheat, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, you watched the show.
I did. I like vodka.
Well, Snowcones, it's been a pleasure chatting with you over the internet in Houston. You being in Houston, us being here in upstate New York, and we'll look forward to when we can all be together again someday.
Yeah, it was nice spending time with you guys tonight. I'll see you soon. Hopefully I'll be coming home in a month or 2.
Cool. Go listen to that record.
All right.
All right, Snowcones.
RHY.
Thanks.
Wow.
And there she goes.
Here she goes again.
Well, she was chattering on so much, we don't have time to talk about The Behavioral Sink by Will Wiles.
She needs to take a chill pill.
But remember, next week we'll be back with Volume 2 of The Best of the Sauce Pod. What clips will we choose from the vault of the 148 episodes that we've recorded? You'll have to wait and see. We got some good ones. And if you missed it, go back and check out Volume 1 from last week. And thanks for joining us for episode 148 of the Sauce Pod. We'll be back next Monday for episode 149, which is Best of the Sauce Pod Volume 2. And I think we're off after that because it's Memorial Day. And then we should be back with you live on the first Monday in June for what would be episode 150.
Wow.
So check out the fingerlakes1.com homepage for updates on that, or thesaucepod.com. For Saucy Joe, Snowcones, wealthy oil man from Texas, I'm Tony Sometimes. Good night now.
Support great local content like this by becoming a patron of FingerLakes1.com. Visit patreon.com/FL1.
www.fingerlakes1.com